Hi, women. My name's Karma, and welcome back to season 3 of the Free Birthing in Color movement. This is a space to hear the stories of women of color and Indigenous women sharing their experiences of living, working, and birthing in their power. If you feel like you have a story to share and would like to have your words and your voice amplified within this movement, please reach out to me. All information about submitting your story can be found within the show notes below or on the Free Birthing in Color Instagram page. The Instagram handle is at freebirthing_in color. Just send me a DM or find the submission forms within the profile. I look forward to hearing from you and making space for your experiences to be witnessed. And now I'm extremely grateful to have shared time and energy with our next guest. Here is her story. Hello, Tracy. Welcome to the Free Birthing in Color movement. I am so grateful to have you here and to speak about the beautiful work that you are doing for the Feminine Collective.
Thank you so much for having me, Karma. And I really, honestly, I'm thankful for what you're doing with this podcast. It's great and it's gonna help a lot of people, I think.
Aw, thank you for your kind words. So I'm really excited to talk to you about the work that you're doing because I just think it's so fantastic. And as I said before, yeah, I'm just so grateful that you are doing this and want to have your work be shared and highlighted because it's so important. So the first question that I want to ask you before we get into all the work stuff is what is your ancestry and your lineage that you hold within your body?
Sure. Well, I am Congolese, so I'm from the Democratic Republic of Congo. It used to be called Zaire, and which is why I actually named my daughter that, so that she would
Oh,
remember. And yeah, my both of my parents are from Congo. I immigrated here when I was about 2 years old.
mhm.
So I came without my parents and I am adopted. So of course, part of my work is reconnecting with my lineage. But yeah, I'm 100% African and proud.
Wow. Okay. So it's really like funny you say this, not funny, but like funny you say this. I was also adopted around the same age as you. I was adopted out of Haiti into and then immigrated into Canada. But when I've looked into my ancestry, my lineage and things like that through kind of spiritual mediumship, um, the area of West Africa is Congo for me and
Really?
Cameroon and Gabon. Yeah. So
Thanks.
yeah, so when you said that, I'm like, oh my gosh, she's a sister.
Yes,
We're
I was
from the
gonna
same
say
area.
oh, amazing. That's such a
Cool.
blessing. That's
Yeah.
amazing that you were able to connect that way too and put
Mhm.
those pieces together.
Yeah. And also, I wanted to mention, I did not know that the original name of the Democratic Republic of Congo was Zaire. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
beautiful. So,
yeah, no, it's a beautiful name. It's also the name of the largest river in Africa, the
okay.
Zaire River. So again, in naming her, we wanted her to be the river that swallowed all rivers.
Mm.
And yeah, it worked. She's definitely a force to be reckoned with. And yeah, we
Wow.
just wanted her to keep that with her.
Wow, I love that. I think that's so beautiful. And I'm like, oh, cool. I just learned a new piece of information. So I knew it was meant to be that we are having this conversation today.
Yes, very much so.
So the next question that I would love to ask you is what is the work that you do in this world for the Feminine Collective?
Ooh, I would sum it up as birth work, honestly, as
Mm,
birth work and healing.
mm,
I work as a doula for licensing purposes and certifications. And so I do some fertility support, some mostly birth and postpartum, and also grief support as well. And in addition to that, I do some lactation education, and then recently also launched part of my business, which is holistic pediatric sleep consulting.
oh,
I saw that there was really a gap. I would work a lot of overnights with families, and
mm.
so it just made sense for me to be able to better assist them in getting that good night's of sleep by just learning more. And so I'm really excited to move on with that.
Wow, that's amazing. I love it. You've got the full spectrum of all of this work. You're covering all aspects, which, in my opinion, needs to happen. You can't just come in and just be here for birth. You can't just come in and be here for one part. Women that are coming into this birth work, right? We have to encompass it all because it's all one leads to the next and nothing can be really left out.
Yeah,
So,
and I think many of us try even to
mhm.
just do one part, and then you realize no, it's like good to
Yeah.
have a full picture, honestly.
Totally. Yeah, absolutely. And what was it that got you into this line of work?
I've always been a nurturer,
Mm,
honestly. I've always been like a healer. I think when I was younger, it started with just like I was always a person that had like premonitions and visions of things before they happened. And then as I
mm,
grew older, I became like a camp counselor and a nanny. So it was always something I wanted to do, which was nurture others. And then
mm.
I went to school for psychology, because honestly, my mother's a psychotherapist as well. My father's an astrologer, and so it made sense,
Oh,
to just
okay.
continue.
Mm,
But I missed, honestly, I always knew that I wanted to spend my days serving women and children. And so birth work was a great next logical step. And then I became a mother and I was like, whoa, this is essential work. And there needs to be, more faces like mine, more people like me seeing it through, not burning it out. So I'm very happy to be quote unquote successful in what I do and be able to help people, honestly, and learn from them because really I do more learning. I think I should. I believe that
mm.
I should be doing more learning in the help and services that I do to people.
Yeah, wow. And that's the thing, like when we're working with people, especially women in their primal continuum of preconception, pregnancy, birth, postpartum, early mothering, and things like that, you can never learn it all. And it is like the space to be always learning because there's always something new that comes in. And like you said, you added on the pediatric sleep consulting because, like, yeah, sometimes babies have difficulty sleeping. It can be within the family dynamic, whether it's the first child or the subsequent children, like getting used to this whole new flow is
Mhm.
it can be difficult for mother, for baby, for father, for partner, for whomever is in the home caretaking. So yeah, always learning new pieces of information is just it's beautiful because we will never know everything in the work that we do. We
Exactly.
may know a lot, but we will never know
Hmm.
any or everything. Yeah.
Exactly.
I just
Yes.
wanted to ask you because you said you have a child, and that was kind of what
Hmm.
propelled you a little bit more into the birth work journey. So,
Hmm.
do you want to maybe touch on that? Like, was it because you felt there was something lacking with your care, or it was something that you wanted to, your care was so great and beautiful that you were like, I need to offer this to people? Like, how was that for you?
I think I think my care needed to happen the way it did. I think I was more young, more naive. I had done all of the studying about being a doula, but it's very
Mm,
different when you actually experience it.
mm,
Um, I also think I like surrendered a little bit to this medical system at the time, and
mm.
it was, the age of, 2020 was a very interesting,
Okay, yeah.
isolating year for a lot of people. And
Mm-hmm.
so I feel like through my experience of laboring, of even like even feeling like I was not in control, like I didn't know I could say no to a lot of things that were,
Mm-hmm.
you know, happening in
Mm-hmm.
terms of um appointments, exams, tests. Like I really didn't know. I just said yes, honestly, and kept going. And I think that I paid for it. But I'm very thankful, of course. I have a wonderful daughter, but it taught me a lot, even something as simple as breastfeeding and
Mm-hmm.
the way people taught me how to breastfeed, even, especially knowing the knowledge of how I would approach it.
Right.
And so just grabbing you, a lot of people felt entitled to my body. And I just felt
Yeah.
like, yeah, if possible, I'd love to help others navigate that
Mm-hmm.
because it is a very vulnerable time, and I feel like unfortunately some people take advantage of that and of that lack of knowledge and that vulnerability. So
Mm-hmm.
that really pivoted it for me. I just wanted to just if I could just help one person, and I'm very happy that I've helped a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, just even know that they have power and that they have the ability to just say yes or no, and that it is their body always.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Wow. Yeah. Like having your baby in 2020, I've heard many stories of how, yeah, crazy it is. So I can see how that instance yeah, with you not even knowing that you can say no. Lots of mothers that I speak with also say that they didn't know that they didn't have to go to that appointment. They didn't know they didn't have to drink that drink to test their blood
Mhm.
sugar or whichever. And it's only when you're going the medical route, it's only you have to do everything this way or not. Um, this you have to do it this way because this is like your only quote unquote option that you have.
Yes.
where it's really sad that women don't know that there are more other ways. Not
Hmm.
necessarily you have to birth free of the system if you don't feel comfortable to, but there are other opportunities and ways to do it. So yeah, I could see how that can be like that catalyst for you to say, as you're saying, like people were just taking governance over my body. And it's like, this is not cool, especially being in such a
Yeah.
fragile state and such a
And it's
vulnerable place.
interesting because I've seen even with, like the strongest women, like they're just like super, like they're girl bosses, they're independent, they are strong-willed women. And then when it comes to pregnancy, somehow
Hmm.
we all just somehow are like, okay, like this is like we all become passengers, which is
Yeah.
all of a sudden, when it's really a time for us to reclaim our
Hmm.
power and our autonomy more than ever.
Hmm.
Not even only just for our for ourselves, but for our babies and our families as well, and just generational lineages that are being affected by the actions we are
Hmm.
taking today. So yeah, no, I totally agree.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's just like everything that has to do with birth work is just so. I remember when I first got into this line of work, and it was like, wow, it's so political and it's so much more kind of heavy in the way of what when you like get into the depth of what it is that we as women who support in this line of work, like it can be heavy, but it's also really beautiful, like you're saying, to work with women and guide them into stepping into their power so that they can change their lineal um, trauma and their
Mhm.
generational trauma, and change this for their child and for themselves. And yeah, it's really big. It's lots of big work, and yeah, like it's amazing that you're doing this, especially as a woman of color. It's so important to have somebody that looks, like me, have the
Mhm.
opportunity or the chance to be able to choose a woman of color to work with
Yes.
in my pregnancy and birth experience. I remember when I first started into birth work, I had a woman reach out to me for postpartum care. And I was like just first, like fresh off off of my trainings and things like that. So I was super excited. And then I found out that she
So fun.
specifically requested me because I was a woman of color, as was she. And it just
Yes.
like put a nice, like this sense of pride in me, like, yes, okay, like women want this, like to have this
Hmm.
familiarity. And yeah, it was a beautiful um experience to go through. Anyways, I don't need to
No,
get
thank you
into
for
all of
sharing.
that. But yeah, just to say, like, it is so important that, as I was saying to you before, like, I put this podcast out there so that I can see this, so that other women can see women that look like them, birthing in their power, being in their power,
Hmm.
hearing these wonderful stories, because it's not often that we get to hear these stories. So platforms like this, women like yourself doing this work is so so important. Yeah.
It really is. I was gonna say, I think one thing that surprised me the most about just especially postpartum work and working with babies is I feel like how much like I feel like when we go into people's homes sometimes and we
Mm,
support them, everyone's of course putting up on their best face. They're trying their hardest to just be like, okay, please help me with this baby. And so it's been really interesting for me to hold babies and feel kind of the dynamic between the relationships and seeing how that
mm,
affects babies' health as well.
mhm.
Um, that has been really surprising. Sometimes it's great. You can feel the love. You have this really like tender baby, exceeding quote unquote milestones, gaining weight, eating well, sleeping, chilling, and then you also
Yep.
have babies that are super tense. And
Mhm.
then you kind of like it's day one, hold your baby, so I get the vibe, and then I get to also uncover kind of what you guys are going through,
Yeah.
which I think we unintentionally happens to affect children. And so um giving like gently, of course, giving people the resources to kind of
Mhm.
heal themselves and also heal their children and is amazing. It's an aspect I did not expect for sure.
Yeah. So then this kind of like it sounds like you're kind of speaking a bit to energy work. So is this something like you said when you were younger, you would have these like visions and kind of premonitions of things. So this is just you working off your intuitive actions, and or were
Yeah,
you trained in a specific energy work style?
I wish I was trained honestly, but no, I think for me it's just it's a very natural thing for me
Yeah.
to read people. I think
Mhm.
also psych background helps for sure, and
Yeah.
combined with intuition makes it really easy for me to assess situations.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, it's also I think yeah, it's a natural thing. I think also just the more and more babies I see, the more and more families I hold,
Hmm.
um, just being able to really see the differences between like family dynamics and the effects it has on children as the birth experience and the postpartum experience, and even at how a child comes to this world has been amazing and definitely yeah something that again when the opportunity arises as well, it's great when I also have the opportunity to kind of help a woman after 6 weeks close that chapter through
Hmm.
massage and energy clearing as
Hmm.
well, and also like doing hiring someone and working with other practitioners to do body work on children. I think it's very underrated. I think
Hmm.
everyone is sometimes quick to you know go to their pediatrician and things like that when there are so many things that can help, things as simple as like colic and sleeplessness and things like that.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's so true. These things need, it's more, yeah, tending to children, tending to these new babies. It is more of like the energetic way because their fields are so open. They're so straight from source that, like, yeah, all of their energetic centers are open. They're on a completely different wavelength than us. And it totally makes sense how whatever's happening in their environment will affect them. And because they can't,
Yeah.
speak and say, like, whoa, you guys need to chill out, it expresses in, lots of crying. It expresses
Mhm.
in gassiness. Yeah, like you're saying, the tension in the body. Like babies have ways to tell us that something isn't, going as smoothly as it could be. And that's also the importance of, yeah, using your intuition as somebody that's coming in to the space, like you said, and gently offering different ways to remedy things for families.
It also, and you were talking about mentorship, and I think something that I don't even think a lot of, but I've had the pleasure to work with my mother-in-law who is
Mm.
Nigerian, and even my own grandmother. And I don't anyone from like Caribbean or African diaspora will know this. Like I've you've seen like an elder hold a baby, and the first thing they do is like pray
Yeah.
and speak life into a baby. And I feel like that's really honestly the biggest job really of
Hmm.
someone that is assisting in postpartum period and assisting with babies is just like speaking life into them. So
Hmm.
so Wakaching elders pray over children, massage children, give that baby that first bath, and really it's an energy cleansing. Has is was really kind of like one of the first like guides that I've received. It's again, I think it's just things that we see elders do generation to generation. That's something that's consistent, honestly. I think in any indigenous um culture is like watch how grandmas take care of children. They will show you a lot
Hmm.
about what needs to be done, about really how mothers need to be still mothered and cared for.
Yeah.
And so that has been really like integral and like something that I keep in mind and also translate into this like modern course and keeping in mind clients' needs and preferences. But
Hmm.
yeah, they know what they're doing and it makes a difference.
Yeah, oh my goodness. Yeah. That's one thing I wish I had was my elders to like show me this way. Because I did most of my learning has been like online and self-study. But yeah, like you're saying, seeing the grandmas and just grabbing the babies and yeah, doing
Yes,
these things that just they're like, oh, a new baby's here. We know what to do. Mother, get to bed. And yeah,
yes,
like all these things and they hold that charge, that energy where it's like, okay, we have to listen. She's
yes,
telling me what to
exactly.
do. I have to listen, which
Yes.
is so beautiful. um so there is one thing that I would love to ask. Like if when you are working with families and they're coming into this experience, this whole, pregnancy, birth, postpartum, all of this, and say it was me coming to like hire you on. I think you said, or did you say you work with preconception, women in
I
preconception or not?
do, I do,
Yeah.
but mainly I would say birth and postpartum and some
Ah,
and grief
okay.
support because that I think goes in hand sometimes.
Right. Okay. Yes. Remind me because I do want to speak to the grief support because it's a very important topic, but just quickly then to get back to this birth and postpartum support, what would that be like? Like, say we were working together, how would you like how would you I don't want to use this word sell, but like how would you explain to me how it is that you would, offer your care and your nurturance for me in this beautiful, like really sacred time?
Of course. And so client to client, of course, it differs.
Hmm.
But really, if you were looking for a more mindful approach, I think the most important thing is just connection. So
Yeah.
the average doula, when they do their prenatals, there's a strict 4 hours. Usually it's like 2 hours at a time. First one is connection, next one is birth preparation. My first prenatal is usually meditation. It's
Mm,
usually yoga, it's usually breathing and really trying to get you back into your own body because I really do believe that
mm,
we need to be prioritizing women and really they do the major work, really. So giving you tools to be able to come back into your source is really, really important. So we go through those. And then at the end of the session, it's really important to me if there is a partner present to also foster that reconnection.
mm,
And that usually looks like a couples meditation and as well just holding space for you guys to express your fears
mm,
is really important. Um, these things need to be said, I feel, because these are things that subliminally, unconsciously affect birth and postpartum.
mhm.
And I really like to get that out of the way when possible.
Right.
And so it's a great moment because we often see partners like be vulnerable and really their main fear most of the time is losing their partner. And I think
Mhm,
not a lot of people do expect that. They think like, oh, it's like about the baby or he's like scared of being a dad. It's like, no, usually their biggest fear is just losing you and
mhm,
being able to express that and also, hold space for how we can um lessen those fears.
mhm,
Um
mhm,
create those that reconnection, that frequent reconnection until we give birth is really important. And
mhm.
it there's nothing like vulnerability, honestly, to like
Yeah.
kind of strengthen the bond. And
Yeah.
so that's usually our first our first meeting. And then I'll usually, give you some herbal tea and I like to bring food. I
Okay.
think that's the African in me. So I always love to bring food and gifts. That's just
Mhm,
I'm just a big believer in you give more than you take all the time.
mhm, mhm,
And then for our second visit, it often looks like doing our birth preparation. So looking at natural methods like
mhm,
peppermint oil, massage balls, um, labor combs, and again some hip squeezes, just natural methods for you to just kind of make it through and manage those surges.
mhm.
Again, I don't like the word pain. I think that
Mhm.
already creates like tension in the body.
Yeah.
But just for you to navigate those surges in the process of you meeting your baby.
Yeah.
Visualization is very important too. So for some women, it's a great opportunity for us to start talking about making a vision board. I like vision boards and creating and just speaking about what ideal birth looks like over making like a birth plan and a birth preference.
Mm,
Um, I think it's just once you have a visual attached to what your desired outcome, it's just
mm,
like a stronger manifestation prayer, I
mhm.
feel.
Yeah.
So that's really important for me to do. Because I think words have power, visions have power,
Yes,
far
absolutely.
beyond what anyone else is. Because to also already come with a plan sometimes feels like even having the words like all those interventions that may happen like is
Mhm.
already I feel like negative almost
Right.
like almost cursing I would say a little bit so I really want us to just ignore that and just focus on like really what you want. I'm a big
Mhm.
believer in that.
Mhm.
And just literally taking away that fear and bringing that confidence back.
Yeah.
And so I respect birth everywhere. Again, I serve women first no matter where that is
Mhm.
and I take my clients based on connection purely first
Yeah.
and knowing like okay like I feel like even on
Mm.
a spiritual plane we're on the same level and you found me
Yeah.
and I feel like feel familiar to you and so I'd love
Mhm.
to join you on this journey.
Mm.
And we're gonna do it. So yeah, so just supporting them. I think my approach in birth is really facilitating that support between partner and them, and
Yeah.
then stepping in when necessary,
Mhm.
to give a break, to give a breather, to breathe life back into them. And then postpartum is, and then we're there. And then it's
Yeah.
the postpartum period, which is its own process of just
Yeah.
for some new parents learning things for the new time first time, for older parents just wanting to get some rest, which
Yeah.
I totally respect. I love the parents that are also like, see you later, see you in the morning. I'm like, okay, if that's what you need,
Hmm.
um, as someone that is serving you, I'm honored, honestly.
Hmm.
And then sometimes that includes, again, depending on people's desires, if ancestrally we like to give women their first bath and babies
Okay.
their first bath,
Yeah.
and then also do like a closing massage at 6 weeks,
Yeah.
just to really also get that fluid out of the body as well. There's also African wrapping that can be done if
Mm.
desired, and that just helps close the abdomen up spiritually as well.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, this is just all part of part of the great work we do. And I take it person by person,
Hmm.
truly. And if it's someone of a different culture, I really part of the prenatals is checking and seeing like, hey, what do you want to honor and bring in? What is important to
Mm.
you to bring into birth? What traditions do you want to keep? What do we want to switch up
Hmm.
and do your way? It really it makes things different and memorable and
Wow.
beautiful. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, that all just sounds so incredible. And just like, I'm like, oh, cool. Like, should I see if I can get her down to Costa Rica to come be with me? It's, yeah, I just love the energy that you have when you speak about the
Oh,
way that you're working with the families, because it's so beautiful. And I love how you said, first off, the first thing you really do is work with women to come back into their bodies. That's so important because there are so many women that are disembodied, myself included. And yeah, especially for something like pregnancy and the birth experience, you really have to be in your body. So I love that that's the first thing that you just focus on is like, okay, let's bring you back in to the center of your source, like you were saying. Yeah, that's fantastic. And getting the partners in there so that they can speak and be heard, because yes, pregnancy is a lot about the woman, the mother, all of this is happening to her, but then it's like the partner is also there and they have feelings, they have fears, they have questions and all this. So it's so lovely that there is that emphasis to bring them in. And yeah, wow. Yeah, all of that care that you do just sounds so beautiful. And I love how you say you make sure that you're in alignment with these women and,
yeah.
that you're spiritually connected and you're not just saying, oh, yeah, I'll just take you and you and you and you and you.
Especially
It's,
for birth, especially
yeah.
for birth. And that's why I don't take every birth,
Hmm.
truly is I really feel like the people I'm supposed to support in birth, like I will feel it when I meet them.
Yeah.
It's not every person. Because in
Yeah.
postpartum I can always heal. Like we can always heal from whatever.
Hmm. Hmm.
No matter who, I'm 100% confident that whatever happened, we can heal from that.
Hmm.
And we can go back to center. But with birth, it's also a portal that's being opened.
Yeah.
And so
It's
for
so
for
intimate.
each other's, yeah, it's intimate. It's an energetic portal being open and portal of life being open. I
Hmm.
think you need to be perfectly aligned. Sometimes I will sell myself out of a job for that reason. I'll be like,
Yeah.
no, like take your time. Are you sure? I really want it to be like not even a single doubt because I
Hmm.
think I think you deserve it, honestly.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I love
Yeah.
that you said that, because like I have so much respect for you for hearing you say that, because it's so true that the portal is opening and these are big spaces to be in. So it's like you have to
Mm,
be so incredibly aligned with the woman, the family, the baby even that you're going to be witnessing move through this so that you can be the proper tether to them as they go into this. And yeah, you're not going to be for everyone. And yeah, I just love how you have such a beautiful discernment in that and in your work. And I mean, I've never worked with you personally, but I'm sure all of the families that you have worked with are just like, oh my God, Tracy is the best. We absolutely love her. She's done all of this, like, all of these things for us and was just absolutely incredible. So, and that's because you have that understanding, you're
no,
really tapped in.
no, truly. I think I know it may sound odd to some, but like truly, I feel like I've met them all before. Sometimes it's just like, oh, like you're my like, where have you been? Like
Hmm.
I've been here.
Yeah,
Now we're in a time and space where we get to connect. But
exactly.
yeah, no, I'm very thankful for them, and I'm very thankful for everything they do. I love. just
Hmm.
learning from people and
Yeah.
holding space for them. So it's been great.
Yeah, it's so true. And like that's the aspect of birth where like it steps in. Yes, there's the physical aspect of birth, there's the mental aspect of women having to like get through and move through their birth portal, but there's that spiritual container of actual pregnancy and birth. And many birth workers, or maybe not many, but like there are birth workers out there that don't really see that outside perspective of the importance of holding that spiritual container for birth, because that is, in my opinion, the most important part of it. And then it's like, yeah, we can get to the mental, yeah, we can get to the physical, all that just works through because our bodies are designed to do this. But the spiritual aspect, the ceremonial aspect of it is so, so important. um yeah, I could talk about that for forever.
Yeah, me
Um,
too.
um, but yeah, I'm just like, yes. Tracy knows she's in there and she's doing this beautiful heart-led work for women and families. And I'm just so grateful that you are offering this to these people and that you are connecting with the ones that are meant to come into your world and you're meant to come back into their spheres. You said you've met them before on a different plane. So yeah, that's just so
Yeah.
beautiful to
I'm
hear of
glad I
that.
could share that, honestly.
Yeah, yeah, I'm glad that it's out there as well. I do want to pivot though and speak to,
Yeah.
because you said you do grief work as well.
Mhm.
So just curious, how did that come into your sphere, into your line of work? Because that's not usually something that people are just, well, I mean, it is. Some people are like, yes, I want to be a grief worker and, work with death and things like that. So curious how that part of your alignment and work came in.
I think like most people that are helping others, most people that are healers, it's usually something that happens in themselves.
Mm,
And so for me, it was like experience with my own loss and like loss from my friends and realizing, there's not much out there and also kind of feeling alone, sometimes
mm,
guilty for loss as well. And, it took me a lot of trial and error and just really what brought me peace with ceremony and dignity and understanding really was meant to be. And so when I had um when I had an experience where my client did, give birth to a stillbirth baby,
mm,
um those experiences with myself and holding ceremonies with my friends and journaling equipped me for that support.
mm,
So yeah, so going through that with them, um, holding a ceremony with their family afterwards,
mm.
and doing a burial was as heavy as it was, it was necessary and it felt weird to hand that to someone else when I
Yeah.
had been through like that with them and yeah, it felt strange. So again, just like birth, ceremony is something that is something that I think I do naturally in my home with my partner
Mhm.
and I, but to be able to do that with someone was important as well. So
Yeah.
it was great to be able so each family member was able to read a poem
Mm.
to this child and pour their love into the mother. And then they were able to raise money and like symbolically donate that money. And I feel like that
Oh.
was definitely a symbolic donation spiritually to that baby too, to their wealth.
Mhm.
And so yeah, that's just something that I just went into, and I think it's necessary because you never know. You can never know what can happen.
Yeah.
I also do abortion support as well,
Mhm.
whether it be herbally or medically. I think everyone deserves to have someone hold space for them. No one
Yes.
deserves to be alone. I think a loss is a loss, and I
Mhm.
think I'm also a believer that babies can come back,
Mhm.
truly.
Yeah.
So yeah, so through that work and through being able to have one-on-one conversations with those people and creating ceremonies that are intrinsic to their situations was a way
Mm.
for me to just again, I think continuity of care is very important. And so I'm
Absolutely.
already there and I think I'm meant to be supporting.
Yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, it
absolutely.
is a little heavy.
But it's something that is necessary to speak about because this does happen, you know. mothers may have their pregnancy release at 9 weeks, or their baby will be stillborn at 39 weeks. Like this is just something that happens within the, functioning of the world. This happens and it needs to be um, celebrated, ceremonialized, respected because
Hmm.
it's part of the process,
It is.
even just because this baby released early or was a stillborn babe doesn't mean that now, that process has just come to a full stop. There needs to be
Hmm.
something that recognizes this child's life, even though it was so short. There needs to be something that recognizes the mother's grief, the father partner's grief, the rest of the family's grief, to really bring in that healing. And yeah, I think that's so beautiful that you stepped in to that place and you're saying, I couldn't leave that family after working with them for so long. Like it would be weird to just be like, oh, your baby's passed. Okay, we'll see you later. You
Exactly.
have
Yeah.
to, you would be there if the baby was alive. So you still
Hmm.
need to be there when the baby has passed to
Hmm.
usher them into this new space of being that they were going to be in because they're still parents, even though
They
this
are.
child is not
They are. Thank you for
here.
saying that. They really are. They really are. And I tell
Hmm.
that to all clients and all friends, like, they're like, yeah, but like I lost my baby. Like, I can't wait to be a mom. I'm like, you are a mom. And I
Hmm.
really feel like your babies are a thing and they're guiding us and
Yeah.
they're like helping us. They're finding words behind the scenes. Like they really just want to see us like
Yeah.
do our best. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Like just because your baby's not here in the physical, you are still a
Hmm.
parent because you held that child within the womb for however long it may be. And yeah, like
Yes.
you're saying, spirit babies, they know what they need and they are
Hmm.
here, especially now in the world that we're living in and moving into, especially after 2020. And like the babies that are coming through are very strong. They are very powerful. They are very in tune and like direct line to that source energy, universal consciousness, God energy, however you want to say it. And they are choosing the mothers to be like, you need to step up now because my mission on earth
Word.
is gonna be big. So you need to be able
Yes.
to hold me in my capacity of energy. So I'm going
Hmm.
to guide you in all the things that you can do to prepare for me. And then you're gonna go through it. And yeah,
Yeah.
it's really incredible. So having women like you doing this beautiful work, full spectrum, with families, even through life and through death, is so important because the the ties need to be brought back together, even if a
Hmm.
baby has not come into this world alive. There still needs to be that closing, that honoring, that respecting the ceremonial aspect because it's just
Yes,
as important as a mother going home and holding her baby and breastfeeding it. Her going
it
home
is.
without that child, she still needs to be acknowledged that she is a mother and that,
Hmm.
the partner is a father, whomever. Yeah.
I really love you saying that. That really touched me. No, they're still mothers, honestly.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I just had to speak to you on that because, hearing how you tend to the families that you do in the way through the birth and postpartum, it's like, okay, yeah, you get that experience as well. If it doesn't turn out to be the one outcome and it's the other, it's still just as honorable.
it is. It
Yeah.
is.
And it's like I said, it's a heavy topic, but it's something that needs to be spoken about because it can happen to anyone at
Yeah,
any point,
yeah.
and it just
And
sometimes it just happens.
yeah, yeah. And I feel like a lot of the times it happens and people just feel lonely and feel ashamed. So yeah, thank you for having
Hmm.
us talk about it a little. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like every woman, every person knows somebody that's probably gone through grief, loss of early release, abortion, stillbirth, anything of that sort. So it's like
hmm
we all know someone, or it's happened to someone, happened to themselves personally, or someone close to you that it has happened to. But it's like
hmm
we just don't speak enough about it because it's like this taboo kind of thing. And it's like, no, it's not taboo. It's just a part of life. And we need to
Yes,
respect
it
it.
is.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So thank you. Yeah, thank you for sharing all of your knowledge and what you do in that way because it is so beautiful.
Thank you. Honestly, thank you for holding space for me. I realize
Hmm.
I don't talk about it often, so this is lovely.
Yeah, my absolute pleasure. Um, and I did have one more question that I wanted to ask. and now I cannot remember. It was there and now it's gone. That's okay. It'll either come back to me. I get, yeah, stuck on tangents and go and go and go.
No, no
um
worries.
I can ask you this though. Is there anything else that you would like to speak to about the work that you do, how you support families, how you have come into this, birth work stewardship? Anything that you'd like to share more of?
Um, I think it's weird, but I feel like called to just um encourage people to just hmm. I'm a big believer that things will keep repeating until there's a lesson learned. And so
Mhm,
I think for years I felt as though I did not want to do this work. Like it was really hard. Like how am I going to be even self-employed? Am I gonna find people? There was a lot of doubt.
mhm,
And so I'm just like I think just encouraging like really follow your heart, follow what you're meant to do, follow the signs that are left
mhm,
for
mhm,
you. Um, truly, if you're meant to do it, it will work out. It really will. And you're doing yourself a disservice long term if you're not. And so that's something I had to go through with before I,
mhm,
fully came into this. And
mhm.
now I'm just like, wow, like
Mhm.
my husband's always like, it's so strange how how easy this has been for you and how well this has been doing for you. I'm like, yeah, I think I just needed to step up, truly.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that's really my advice for I don't know, any hard worker, entrepreneur, or like anyone that's really just feeling a calling, like just step
Mhm.
into it. It's truly like it's in your heart for a reason.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Yes. Thank you
yeah,
for
I
saying that.
promise.
It's
And
true.
yeah,
Yeah. You will be guided exactly where you need to go. You just have to accept it and, yeah,
yeah.
do the
My
work.
mother-in-law always talks about helpers and like,
Mm,
God, you like praying for your helper. And so I like truly pray for help, pray for
mhm.
spiritual help, pray for physical help. There are people that are just and spiritual just waiting
Mhm.
to help you. Truly,
Yeah.
truly, like happily. So yeah, that's what I choose to share
Yes.
anyway. But yeah,
Oh,
I
I
hope that
love
touches
that.
someone's heart.
Mhm.
Really, I promise you'll do great.
Yes, I love that. Thank you for saying those words. That's beautiful. And then so quickly, I want to ask because you're doing this work, where is it that you're located, if you're happy to share, so that if there are any women in your area that are like, ooh, maybe we can kind of connect. I wonder if we would get on that same level. Where are you doing and practicing your work?
For sure. So I'm located in North GTA, so in Newmarket. But I honestly, again, because it's where I feel called to. I travel all over the GTA, Toronto, Ontario, Canada. So I've been to Caledon. Sometimes I'll go to Barrie. Sometimes I'm going to Montreal this weekend.
Oh,
So
wow. Okay.
yes, I really, I mean, I will. I think it's really just about that connection.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's you can connect with me online. I love even if it's just for a quick consultation, a quick chat. I love answering questions.
Mhm.
Um, I it's not something I feel charged like I should
Mhm.
charge for. It's just like I really feel like we should all be helping each other, especially as
Yes.
people of a global majority.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
yeah, you can connect with me online. Check out my Instagram at Boboto Dula, my website. And then next year, I'm hoping that I will be able to host some infant sleep education courses. So I will definitely be posting about that. And yeah, I think we'll just see where it goes. And honestly, where
Beautiful.
God universe wants to take me. But
Yeah.
so far, that's all I know. But currently, I'm booking for April 2025. So truly, it's never too early to connect
Hmm.
and see if we should work together, honestly. Yeah.
Beautiful. Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Yes, I will put all your information in the show notes. So any women that are in the Greater Toronto area in Canada, reach out to Tracy. And with you speaking to that, that was the question I was thinking of, is the sleep that you do, the sleep work that you
Yes.
do. Could you touch on
Yes.
that really quickly before we finish up?
Yeah. So the average, when you hear sleep consultant, the average sleep consultant is focused on it's usually a tired parent that's like, I can't sleep. I need this baby to sleep 8 hours because I have to go to work, or like I like I don't know, like I'm tired of this baby sleeping in our
Hmm.
bed, or like I don't know. Just usually people just want to maximize on sleep. And so
Hmm.
when you're looking, for me, focus on the holistic perspective.
Yeah.
And what that means is we look at different factors. We look at the infant's development.
Hmm.
We look at their sleep environment. I most of the time want to see your home in person
Hmm.
because it tells me a lot. Like I will spend usually a day tonight and just like watch, join you, like just hang out. We're gonna hang out, spend a day together, and they'll be like, hey, like I noticed a few things. We're talking about dynamics, what parents do for a living, what their long-term goals are. Sometimes like even are they moving soon? Did they move recently? Are there any emotional and psychological factors that are at play for infant sleep? And someone once told me like it's not an issue until it's an issue for you and your family. Don't feel like you need to get this amount of sleep, but if it's affecting your health and your comfort, then yeah, let's work on it. So most of the time it's as simple as most people do not under like or they are not aware of normal child develop and baby development sleep.
Hmm.
So they're like, why isn't this baby sleeping through the night? And
Hmm.
really, I didn't take it as a sees like anywhere between 20 to 60 babies a year. Only one in like seven sleep through the night.
Okay.
Truly,
Yeah.
truly. And again, there are factors to that. There are factors to their birth, and that goes into even what we were talking about, how like your dynamic before birth
Hmm.
and what you're working through individually, spiritually affect your babies as well. That's what we're also looking like.
Hmm.
Do we have an IVF baby? Is
Hmm.
this a rainbow baby? Like, what are the things that are affecting this infant's sleep as well?
Right.
So, and again, I help families up to like kids that are about to start school. Just
Wow.
really, yeah, just develop good sleep hygiene and troubleshoot.
Yeah.
Sometimes, it's things that for me just make sense, but other people may not know, like
Yeah.
not having any screens on for 3 hours before bed. Like for anybody, it's good
Hmm.
for you. That's best for your sleep. It's best for your infant sleep.
Yeah.
No sugar after 5 p.m. It you be Some people love dessert before bed, and just that little change is just
Hmm.
changes everybody. And again, even looking at the ages of parents, whether you're 20-year-old parents to
Hmm.
40-year-old, 50-year-old parents that honestly do need to be in bed by 10:30.
Yeah.
Let's keep it real. It's gonna help everybody out. It really, again, we just create a plan that fits with
Hmm.
you.
Hmm.
And just like in birth work, I don't think any person is one size fits all.
Hmm.
But that's also the beauty of Toronto and all these cultures and these practices is like I just want to work with you to hit your goals and also give you some realistic expectations as
Yeah.
opposed to just like, yes, we are going to let this baby cry and she's going to sleep through the night.
Hmm.
Because I think part of that too is like I think we've been really influenced by American culture here in Canada in
Hmm.
terms of breastfeeding and sleep. Because of course, unfortunately, in America, again, from my understanding, most people are going back to work
Yeah.
after 6 weeks. So there is this pressure on building this
Hmm.
milk stash, and there is this pressure on children to sleep through the night and
Hmm.
be independent and resilient and like
Yeah.
sleep in the room far away on the other side of the house, like because parents have things to do, right?
Yeah.
So, but we're very lucky in Canada. I would say most people get to take a year off to 18 months unless they're business owners or just can't sustain that.
Hmm.
So we don't have to
Rush.
operate the same way. We really don't.
Yeah.
And I don't think we should just because
Hmm.
of what we see on the
Hmm.
media or just like, hearsay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I work at, just looking at the full
Wow.
picture and how we can create a sleep plan that works for you and your lifestyle, your culture, and your family.
I love that. I really love that. That you say you take that holistic approach and you like come and hang out with the family the whole day and spot things that could be different to make it easier for the nighttime. That's so, yeah, I love that integrative approach because, like you said, every family is different. You can't just walk in and be like, okay, so this is what we're going to do A, B, C, D, and your baby's going to sleep 8 hours every single night, even though they're 5.5 weeks. It's like, no,
Hmm.
babies
You
aren't
can't, but
even built
I need to
that
meet your
way.
kid Yeah, exactly. Like we can't necessarily do that. Like if you have
Hmm.
like I don't know, a sensitive child or a child that
Hmm.
just got a sibling. Of course, we have a 2-year-old that is regressing because
Yeah.
they have a sibling, and that's like one of the most like life-changing events in your life is getting a sibling.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
Um, but yeah, just taking in everything. So thank
Hmm.
you for having me share. It's
Yeah.
I think people are realizing like you really do need to look at the
Yeah.
whole picture. So that's I'm looking forward
Hmm.
to working with more people on that.
Yeah, and it's important to know that we, as modern day humans, we have to remember how to care for not only ourselves when we're sleeping, but yeah, these young infants. Because, like you're
Yeah,
saying, the influence of culture of different countries, the US, of all of this stuff that's coming in, it really is like you need to get back to work at 6 weeks. Your baby needs to sleep. Your baby only needs to feed this much, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, but that's not the physiologic design.
there's so
We
many terms like
need
Velcro baby. Like, what do you mean?
yeah, it's like this is just a baby who is just acting
It's
out
just
its natural way. It wants to be with its
exactly
mother. Why wouldn't it? You know?
that's very exactly like that sounds like a great bond actually. Very
Yeah.
secure attachment. Yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah, just all these silly things, but it takes, it
Mhm.
takes one person at a time and
Absolutely.
just a shift and we're getting there,
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally. We are getting there. And that's why, again, I keep saying I'm so grateful to have this conversation with you because you are
Yeah.
a wealth of such beautiful, integrated, wise knowledge in the work that you do, the way that you support families. And yeah, I'm just so happy that I get to share this with many other people. And yeah, that we've got to
I'm
speak.
happy.
And
Honestly, I'm stoked. It's been an absolute dream and pleasure, truly.
yes. Oh, amazing. Thank you so much, Tracy. I hope you have a
Oh, thank
wonderful
you.
day. Thank you so much, women, for listening to this latest episode of the Free Birthing in Color movement. If you want to continue supporting this movement and all that comes with it, please give a 5-star rating and a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Like the videos on YouTube and share this episode with some of your friends. As reciprocity for the work that I'm doing and the content that I'm creating, it only takes 2 minutes to show your support through a 5-star rating, a small written review, and a share. If you want to give a monetary donation to help with the back end costs of keeping everything that is happening within this movement going, you can send your donations through PayPal via the link in the show notes. And again, as reciprocity for the work that I'm doing and creating, I'm so grateful when those donations come through. All information can be found within the show notes below. I'll see you in the next episode.